Excited. But I'm going to talk to you guys again about Snyder Cut News and about a lot of good things that happened. Once again, globally and financially. And we'll also talk about some negative things, but we'll talk about both of them. So first and foremost, today, we should be using the hashtag Restore the Snyderverse, make the Justice League sequel. It's perfect. It just falls in line. So that's today. Tag it everywhere you want. That's one. Second thing is Henry Cavill's our Superman. And I want you guys to particularly also put out there, it doesn't have to be in a hashtag, get Zack Snyder's Justice League into theaters. That's it. That's the game plan for today. Let's talk a little bit about the good things that happened. The Snyder Cut has gotten 120 million views on, I can't remember the name of the platform, in China, as well as 7.15 million views on Billy, and I believe on Tencent, 15 million views, 15 plus million views on Tencent. That is in China, and they have several platforms they run in China. Now, some people are saying it's repeat viewings and blah, 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 blah. But we've also had plays. So we talk about plays and so on. Listen, man, that's incredible. That's incredible. Breaking records on certain platforms. Certain platforms is just record high runnings. And they're trying to say, oh, well, Mortal Kombat did the same in China and so not at all. Mortal Kombat only ran on digital in the US. It's in theaters in the rest of the planet. That's bullshit, one. Godzilla vs. Kong was in theaters. And I feel that Zack Snyder's Justice League deserves to be in theaters. The performance that it's putting on, these epic, historic performances, deserve it to be in theaters. So, right now it's number one in the UK charts for a second week in a row. There's a promotion for Mortal Kombat that's coming to the UK. Let's see if Mortal Kombat overtakes the Snyder Cut or if the Snyder Cut continues to do what it do. We'll see. That'll be interesting. Okay. And it's supposed to have Godzilla vs. Kong across there as well. All right. But the Snyder Cut is solid, doing exceptionally well, doing a number of firsts. You know, Wonder Woman has been the number one selling DVD, digital copy in the UK for a good while, which was very good for Wonder Woman. Batman v Superman Ultimate Cut is actually digitally selling in the UK as well. It's number 3 now. It moved up. The reason being, of course, people, after they saw the Snyder Cut, they're going to want to watch BVS, and some of them didn't, so they purchase it. Now, these are purchases we're talking about in the UK, not just plays, but purchases. Because in the UK, you have to buy it on Sky. You don't have actual purchases. So, yeah. It's just remarkable. I think, at the end of the day, the Snyder Cut would have performed digitally. You know, subscription services kind of dull it off. But if we're talking about rentals, etc., from the way how stuff went down in China, this movie made over $1 billion already for AT&T. When all is said and done, when they put all the money together and when they pool everything together, This movie made over $1 billion already for AT&T globally. I truly believe that. And that's streaming. And that's a revolution right there. There's a reason why Netflix has Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead playing in 600 cinemas in the United States of America. Zack Snyder makes money. His films make money. So, as I said before, Henry Cavill's birthday is today. Happy birthday to Henry Cavill, or Superman. I did a poll. I didn't bring up the poll. I did a poll. Who did the poll? I don't remember. Was it IMDb? No, it wasn't IMDb. There was another poll today. Well, not a poll, but like a comment section. And that comment section was asking. No, today it was since it was Henry Cavill's birthday, one of the trades said, "What's the best Henry Cavill movie you've seen, or best performance by Henry Cavill?" That was it. Now, I did post to you guys over on the in my channel here. I did tell you that there is definitely a conflict in Warner Brothers. When you look at Warner Brothers India, Warner Brothers France, they're wishing Henry Cavill happy birthday. Meanwhile, Warner Brothers in the United States of America is trying to speak to a trade, their insiders, whatever, bullshit, Hollywood Reporter, saying that, they're looking at pushing forward before the end of this year, the writing and script for a black Superman who would have a black director. That's their big announcement. It's supposed to detract everybody. It doesn't faze me, because I heard that they were trying to push a black Superman for the longest while. But here, this one. The black Superman, he's not going to be Calvin Ellis. He's not going to be Bud Zudd. He's going to be Clark Kent. Okay. Clark Kent. Raised the same way and everything, but he's Clark Kent. All right. So if you want to go that way, you don't want to do something new with the lore. You don't want to make it innovative. You just want to go the same old fucking route. Right? With a black director. So you got a token black director. You got a token black Superman. Right? To undo the evil that you did against Ray Fisher. Against Aaron Michaels. Against Ava DuVernay. And you cut out all those black people from the movie Snyder Cut. And also Asian people. Yeah, right. Sure. Yeah. Uh-huh. That don't cover up nothing. Okay? That's all I got to say on that. Let's move on. Do I have a problem with a black Superman being cast? No. But clearly, doing this on Henry Cavill's birthday, and you guys know this is Henry Cavill's birthday. It's spiteful. It's wicked. It's evil. And shows us who's leading Warner Brothers. Spiteful, wicked people feel they have the power, and they're going to wield it. And as a result, they're going to lose their jobs. They're going to end up just like Jeff Johns, John Berg. I guarantee you. And Joss Whedon. That's the attitude they have in there. So that's why we're seeing all these kinds of crazy, stupid things. Because they know their days are numbered. We're winning, people. All we have to do is continue asking for what we want. Restore the Snyderverse. Now, add to it, we want the Snyder Cut in theaters before the end of this year. And that long-ass movie, too. We move on as planned, not phased. We'll talk a couple other good things that have happened. But obviously, Warner Brothers is very incompetent. The U.S. branch, led by these fucking CDs. I'm sorry, I'm not cursing. By these CEOs. Clearly, now they're beginning to tick off the entire fandom. DC fans in general are beginning to get ticked off by them. I've seen guys watching Heroes Avenue, and he was ticked. He was pissed, and he's not the biggest Snyder Cut fan. Doesn't follow like that. I've seen people who are Marvel fans watching them and shaking their heads like that just doesn't make no sense. What are they trying to do? They're trying to show that they can do what they want. So that's the kind of leadership we got, where these people don't have a problem hurting other people. Hence the hashtag Toxic Warner Brothers. It's very fitting. They're showing their true hand right now. And making it easier and easier for AT&T to override them. Because AT&T is watching everything. And when they make their move, Warner Brothers won't be able to say a single word. And every single Warner Brothers outlet, other than Warner Brothers USA, particularly Emmerich, Sarnoff, and Hamada, every other Warner Brothers outlet is supporting the Snyder Cut. I want you to understand that. Warner Brothers, as a company, beyond this little faction that's holding the company hostage, this group of CEOs and people under them that are trying to sabotage things, it's not the majority of people in Warner Brothers. Majority of people in Warner Brothers, they don't have the clout and they're not at that level, but the majority of people in Warner Brothers, dare I say even guys like Jim Lee, etc., would love to see the Snyderverse exist. And they don't have a problem. Like I said before, I don't have a problem with a black Superman. You want to have a black Superman, do whatever the hell you want to do. Don't replace Henry Cavill Superman. And they deliberately are saying, we're going to replace Henry Cavill Superman. We're going to replace him with a black Superman. And tick everybody off. Obviously, people are going to be angry, right? Not doing anything. Their YouTube video with Justice League has been panned. Like the fans, and this is not Snyder Cut fans. Snyder Cut fans are 100K dislikes. Come on, man. It's not just Snyder Cut fans. It's the fandom. Now DC fans are getting ticked off. Not just Snyder Cut fans anymore. Even Marvel fans are watching this and shaking their heads like, what's going on? Because the things at Marvel are pretty good, right? But even Marvel fans are in awe of how vindictive and destructive the studio there, led by those three executives, are. They're showing their true colors. And investors are seeing it. AT&T is seeing it as they expose themselves. And remember, their first big venture with AT&T was Justice League. AT&T threw all their resources, all their money behind them, and it was a freaking flop. Let's not forget that. Very important point. They had their way. These executives showed what they were made of, and they flopped. Let's not forget that, ever. That's the first interaction with AT&T. So AT&T is very much aware that this leadership is incompetent. This leadership has no direction, and this leadership will run the company into the ground that they just purchased. And so they need to notify the investors. AT&T needs to notify the investors of certain executives and have their shuffle around and their shake up. They need to shake it up and quickly. Otherwise, these guys will destroy Warner Brothers Pictures. And they're a minority. They're not Warner Brothers UK. They're not Warner Brothers Asia. They're not Warner Brothers Touring Service. Warner Brothers has a lot of machinery and a lot of resources. The last thing Jason Keeler would like to know is that the Warner Media that he has ultimately destroyed Warner Brothers because he was not able to implement what he wanted to do or see it happen. And right now, the key thing here is we want Warner Media, headed by Jason Keeler, to greenlight the Snyderverse on HBO Max. And from HBO Max, we want the Snyderverse to go into theaters where there are movies. There will be series and movies. Launch it across into movie form into theaters. HBO Max will handle everything else. They've shown they can distribute this movie very successfully, and they've done it. So we don't need Warner Brother Pictures. Whatever you want to do on that side, you can do, because we don't care about you. All we care is that we get access to theaters when it's necessary, and we can do that through HBO Max. So we don't need you. Now, Iron Sarnoff, yes, she has something to do with HBO Max's content and so on. But again, if AT&T is putting up the money, she just needs to be a rubber stamp and greenlight it. And Casey Bloys, who probably is getting pressure from her, he just needs to make sure that, because I know he was excited for the content as well, with HBO Max. But I think he's being bullied. So I guess that's why he kind of got a little angry and blocked certain fans or whatever. And some of the fans were somewhat toxic. So, but at the end of the day, let me just say, HBO Max needs content. And if that content does exceptionally well, it should be put into theaters. The reverse process should happen. Okay? And I don't see why, before the end of this year, the Snyder Cut's not in theaters worldwide. It will not be the biggest, amount of theaters. It will be limited theaters. It may even be limited amount of viewings. They may run it for a month just to see, or 2 weeks just to see what happens. And if it's enormously successful, then they're going to probably extend it if they can get that with other cinemas, with a contract agreement with different cinemas across the world to get it shown as much as possible. But you have to pay to do that. So that's a tricky situation. But like I said before, listen, this is what we need to do: press the action. We need to press the action for the Snyder Cut to be in cinemas. That's the first thing we want to press. We want to press that hard. I know we're doing the hashtag campaign on Twitter right now, and I do my hashtag campaign on YouTube as well as on Facebook. But we could also press the action in terms of what we want to see in theaters, and that needs to happen now. We need to start pushing for that movie to be in theaters uh, as soon as possible. All right. Now, for anything else, it's just a distraction. When you hear they're not going to be doing the Superman movie anytime soon. That's probably 2023 they're looking at, right? They're trying to get a script early. They're trying to rush scripts and all of that. That's just stupid. Like, the studio's just doing stupid things. So I think that's just a distraction. That was just a distraction in the Hollywood Reporter to keep us from staying focused on what we were doing and get us distracted and talking about that instead of talking about the success of the Snyder Cut in China. Very successful. No matter if you say it'll repeat viewings. Okay, there were repeat viewings. But at the end of the day, if we're talking 7 million views and it really boils down to about 3 or 4 million actual views, how they count them, then 120 million views, god damn. That boils down to what? You take a factor of 3, let's say. Because there's only so much they can do in a day, right? You can't watch the Snyder Cut like in a day. It's a 4-hour movie. So you're talking about maybe 12 times in a day, right? Maybe. No, it's not possible to be 12. You sleep. You gotta sleep. So even if you sleep, let's say you sleep 6 hours, okay? Or let's say you sleep 8 hours. That only leaves you with 16 more hours, right? 16 hours, that's only 4 times a day you can do it. So let's divide by a factor of 4. 120 million divided by 4 is still 30 million. That's like 30 million households, man. That's fucking phenomenal. Sorry about the F bomb. That's phenomenal. Take 30 million, multiply it by 12. By 12. About $12 to do a rental. That's $360 million, Ninja. That's freaking phenomenal. That's freaking phenomenal. If it was rentals, I don't know how they do it with their streaming services or what. And that's only three streaming services I talked about. It's just freaking phenomenal, man. And Snyder Cut is doing exceptionally well. And anybody tells you otherwise, they nuts. And the trade's trying to spin it and all that, but they can't spin it. This movie has been a tremendous success worldwide on streaming platforms. It's been first for a whole set of things in streaming platforms. Really blew up the streaming platforms, and it's shown us the way that streaming is the future. You might still have movies in theaters just to see it on a big screen, or sometimes the theaters might even stream the movies on a big screen instead of shoot it to a projector, which would be very interesting. And so that's the future, though. That's the future, and the Snyder Cut is there. It's right there. It's one of the pioneers of the future. And now Netflix. That's the second. It's going to be second streaming service. Zack Snyder is going to be working with, and that's going to do the reverse effect. Instead of moving from theaters to streaming, now it's going to be from streaming to theaters. So I can't wait for that, because COVID numbers and COVID will kind of somewhat affect the turnout. Maybe we'll see. But pressing for Army of the Dead to see how well that does as well. And then there's no excuses, because if you have COVID and people going out of their way in COVID just to see these movies, then there's no excuse. So I'm looking forward to even more. Like my boy Prime said, he wants to see the worldwide figures. The worldwide figures looking crazy already. I think this movie grossed over $1 billion. I truly believe this movie grossed over $1 billion in streaming. Now I know some of the movie played in theaters as well, limited theaters. Some people got to see it in theaters, which was great for them. But when you think about all that money, when you pull all that money together, I think Warner Brothers, I think not Warner Brothers, AT&T made a bit. They made a lot of money off of this movie. Warner Brothers get no part of it because they didn't invest nothing. But when it comes to AT&T, they made money off of this movie, and they are not. I'm telling you, man, AT&T ain't stopping till this Snyderverse is restored. You know what I mean? Like I said before, I'm interested in Suicide. Not interested in Suicide. I'm interested in Black Adam. So when Black Adam comes around, I'm gonna be paying attention to that movie. That's the only Hamadaverse movie I'm gonna go see. I'm pretty sure about that. I'm excited to see, at least. I'm not too sure about the Flash. I'm not excited for that. I'm not excited for Suicide Squad, really, but I may go to support. But when it comes to Black Adam, I will be watching that movie. Pickashade says, if they would stream properly everywhere on the globe, good thing Netflix is global, so I can see Army of the Dead, but I need to go pirate for everything WB has released after Snyder Cut. Right. Well, the thing about it is, though, HBO Max is going to be global soon. They're now kind of picking up their stuff. So I'm waiting for HBO Max Caribbean to come down here. I think it's in June. That's only about a month away. And I'm gonna purchase HBO Max and watch my Snyder Cut and other stuff that I like on HBO Max. So there's other content I like on HBO Max. So I'm looking forward to that. You know what I mean? HBO Max is the platform to be on. Now see Toby Emmerich and Ansonoff, they're trying to sabotage the Snyder Cut, and they've been trying their best not to have it on HBO Max. But AT&T ain't gonna have that. AT&T is not gonna have that. That's one thing they cannot negotiate with AT&T. AT&T is gonna tell them, get your fucking ass out the way. We're gonna have the Snyder Cut. Okay, you can go ahead and play that little child play thing in Warner Brother Pictures. Don't fuck with us once we decide we're putting content on HBO Max. I'm betting you Jason Keeler will override that. Okay, Jason Keeler ain't gonna play. There's certain things that are not gonna be negotiable, and this is one of them. The Snyderverse is going to happen, like I said before. And the fact that Henry Cavill came back as Superman and his Superman was redeemed, with that great performance. This stupid bullshit article about Black Superman, nobody gives a fuck about that. Everybody cares about Henry Cavill right now. Sorry about the F bomb. You know, nobody cares about seeing Black Superman. Like, well, we didn't ask for that. First of all, second of all, that's cool. You want to do a Black Superman, but you're not going to replace Clark Kent, who we have. We have got Clark Kent already. We're not interested in seeing another Clark Kent, right? You see, what's happening is the fans asked for Man of Steel 2, and what does Warner Brothers do? They fish all around the place, and they won't give them Man of Steel 2. And then when it finally, they say, okay, we're going to give you Man of Steel 2 with a Black Superman. No, motherfucker, we want to see what Henry Cavill could do with a Man of Steel 2, a Superman solo movie. Let me put it that way. It's not Man of Steel 2. It'll be like a Superman solo movie, right? Where Superman and his villains are there. There's no Justice League, none of that. That's what we want to see. Give us what we want. We ask you for something. You're not. Ben Affleck's the Batman. We ask you for that. You're giving me Matt Reeves' Batman. Why? Don't care about Matt Reeves' Batman. I don't personally care about it. Other people care about it. I don't. I want Ben Affleck's Batman. Okay? So, I'm just saying, I'm not interested in Matt Reeves' Batman. You notice I don't mention Matt Reeves' Batman? The only thing I'm interested in is Black Adam. Why? One, Black Adam is first of all, let me just make this abundantly clear. My favorite superhero is not Batman. Okay? It's not Spider-Man either. Okay? And the reason why I want to just make this abundantly clear, everybody talk, oh, Batman's my favorite hero. Yeah, dummy. That's the only thing you've been seeing in front of your face. That's why he's your favorite. Okay? Batman been, revised and been pushed in front of people's face since 1989. Since Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton made Batman, dark and gritty and interesting. Okay? And then they had the animated series. So shut the hell up with this Batman shit. And then they had a lot of Batman comics because of that. My favorite superhero is Batman. No, dummy. You don't know what your favorite superhero is. You've been seeing Batman for the longest while, so that's why he's your favorite. You've been seeing Spider-Man for the longest while, that's why he's your favorite. We haven't had a lot of Superman movies. Okay? We have not had a lot of what else? Right? So a lot of people say, oh, Batman is my favorite. Shut up. Really annoys me. Batman's cool, but he ain't my favorite superhero. If I had to pick a superhero, it'd be Cyborg. If I had to pick one, he's very interesting to me. Okay? And we need to see more superheroes and different versions of superheroes and different things. That's why I wasn't too mad when we had the Aquaman movie and the Shazam movie. The only thing that, for me, was a big issue was that the circumstances under which these movies happened with the studio interference and stuff. I don't really particularly like that. I'm happy that we got the Harley Quinn movie and all that. At least it came out. We had those things that were ideas and they came out. Not the way how I'm sure everybody wanted it to come out, who was making it, but it is what it is. It came out. Now, we're going to get to see Deathstroke eventually. We're going to have some remakes. So we have the David Ayers cut that has to come out. Then we're going to have the Batman movie where Batman clashes with Deathstroke. Then we're going to have a Deathstroke movie. So all I'm saying is, a Cyborg movie, I would love to see that. The Atom movie, I would love to see that. And yes, I know that the Atom is very similar to Marvel's Ant-Man. Okay? Yeah, I know. Kind of. Not really. They're not the same, but kind of. Right? But at the end of the day, I would love to still see how DC would do their take on the Atom. Because Ant-Man was all jokes, and I hate this. I really hate movies that just have jokes in there because they think it's funny. And I see a lot of people, including people in the trades and stuff, they're always talking about, jokes. Yeah, this movie's a comedy. This is a movie you want to see. Fuck out of here with that shit, man. Everything is hee hee ha hee ha. If I don't want to do that, I could go to a comedy hour. I mean, Very annoying, man. You know, everything's always a joke. There's something called comedy. If you want jokes, then make the movie a comedy. But don't tell me it's an action adventure and everything's a joke. Oh, fuck out of here with that shit. I'm tired of that. So anyway, um, that is some of the news that I have for now. You guys can check out some of the other stuff that I have. I have other stuff that I put out there. Well, those are some of the good things that happened today so far. I know the Hollywood Reporter is going to be putting out another piece later on this afternoon. And, you know, it is what it is. You know, the piece comes out and... Hold on a second. I don't want this phone to die. I just realized it will die. Forgot about that. Okay, good. Are you charging or not? Okay, good. Right. Hopefully it's charging. Let me have a look. Oh yes, it's charging. Yes. Hopefully we will see some other really good news, because there's a lot of good stuff still happening, and I'm sure stuff is still coming out of China. Let's stay positive, people. I don't want to really talk too much about negative things anymore. I think we're trucking along just fine. We're doing pretty well with the Snyderverse and how things are going. No matter what other people think, other people think's going on, that's not going on. And you guys, I told you the chance to follow and everything. So that's all I got for now. I'll catch you guys later. Again, Carson M. Disciple out. Peace.